Now, finally today, a new company is paying members of the public to show potential buyers around homes. Viewber has been set up by Ed Mead, who for 25 years worked for London estate agents Douglas and Gordon. Now, the estate agents pay Viewber around £30 a viewing. Ed Mead says that one of the most time-consuming jobs is showing people around homes, and it'll free up estate agents to do other more important work. Well, Ed joins us from our studio in Dorchester. Do you think buyers and sellers of homes are actually going to be comfortable with a stranger showing them around? Because, you know, as an estate agent, that gives you, obviously, a justification for doing it.
Well, I think, good afternoon. I think I'd say that these people are not necessarily strangers. They're vetted local people. But the point with owners of properties is that when they instruct their estate agent, there is an implied service commitment there that anybody who wants to see the property is going to be able to get in when they want. Now, I don't know whether you've ever tried to look at a property in an evening or a weekend or whatever, but it can be almost impossible. And that's the reason I set it up. And I'm embarrassed to tell you, actually, it's 38 years, not 25 years.
Oh, right. So I've got kind to you.
Thank you. So I've got quite a bit of experience of this, and that's why I left the business to set it up.
But what are these things that are so important that means estate agents can't find the time to do what we think of as one of the basic jobs they're being paid for?
Well, I think if they can, they should. I don't see any problem. The ideal people to show properties clearly are the estate agents. But as I've said, they really struggle sometimes to do weekends, evenings. And actually, the way people make money these days is to mine their database for new listings and getting deals through. And if you're out of the office, you can't be doing that.
How do you vet these people?
Well, where we can, we do a DBS check on them, an old-fashioned CLB check. We do a two-way £1 bank transfer, so we know that they've got a bank account in their own name which they control. That's quite a powerful KYC these days. We take a copy of their driving licence or passport, a couple of utility bills, etc., etc. Exactly what you'd expect.
Let me bring in Sam Ashdown. He's from Ashdown Jones Agency in Windermere in Cumbria. What do you think of this idea?
Hi, Peter, and hi, Ed. Ed and I know each other, actually. I think that we really have a duty of care to our clients, Ed, and I'm sure you'd agree with that. And you did say that you thought that wherever possible, that the estate agent should really show the house. And I think, as Peter said, really that's kind of what the estate agent is being paid to do. And it means not just knowing about the property, it's about knowing them personally, about what makes them tick, about their motivators for moving, and that will really help you guide the right, the right buyer motivation, the right seller motivation, and really help the whole deal work. And you're going to do that at the coalface on the viewing, where you can do the best good for both the parties concerned.
I mean, what occurs to me, Ed, is if they're not agents, what happens if the seller has got questions? I mean, they're likely to have quite a lot. They're not going to be as well informed as you are they?
No, but of course they're local people, so they'll know the local area, they'll know this about the schools, local transport. But the fact of the matter is, when they go in to do a viewing, they have a manual. They're not just going in blind. They've got the URL of the property. It's all done via the sharing economy and a very slick dashboard. And the agents have, the viewers, when they go along, have simple questions they ask, and they put that straight into a dashboard when they come out, and the feedback goes straight back to the agent. So I would agree with Sam. Of course, estate agents should do it when they can, but you and I know perfectly well, and I know, having run an agency, buyers these days want to get in when they want to get in. And if they can't, next morning there'll be 10 properties in their inbox, and they'll be off seeing something else.
Do you think actually, Sam, that there's an issue here of a risk in a way? I mean, how important is the viewing of a house if it can be done by anyone? Even the owner. Aren't people taking a risk with their business here?
I can understand what Ed's saying, and certainly there's going to be a supply and demand issue every now and again. I mean, we operate out of Windermere in the Lake District, and therefore we've got a lot of very rural properties that take a long time to get to, a long time to show, and a long time to get back. But that's what we're being paid to do. And even the most remote of properties, which probably Viewber couldn't cover anyway, if it's going to take a while for us to show, that's a good thing. We get to spend half an hour or an hour with the buyer that could turn into a seller, and only we can do that. I don't think a Viewber rep could do that. I don't think a Viewber rep could convert a buyer to a seller effectively.
Are you making any money on this yet, Ed?
No, it's not doing too badly, I have to say. It's had a really interesting acceptance from the market. And by the way, Sam, it is completely national. We guarantee to do any viewings anywhere in the UK, so there's not an issue with that. But I do think these days, when a buyer contacts an office, you shouldn't have to send someone half an hour away to meet them to qualify them. You should be qualifying them on the phone straight away or on the internet. You don't need to be meeting them these days.
OK, we'll have to leave it there. Sam Ashdown, Ed Mead, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.